we get black for this one. So opponent, 12,600 rapid games. That's a lot of rapid games. We'll play the carrow as per usual. So one's done like 10 times the games we've done. So c4 and d5 is still the recommended move. Just like blitzing out the moves there. It's a 10-minute game, no need to play too quickly. He plays pawn forward. I think takes is fine here. Check, we can still block. I think it's all good. Take our pawn back. Knight up, it's fine to take. We can also play pawn up. This is slightly annoying check, but we can always go here. But yeah, I'm just going to protect my knight. Prepare to develop the bishop and castle. He probably played bishop here, getting on the diagonal, so we might try and bring this knight across. Obviously, if he wants to, he can go this way and just trade the bishop off as well. Knight forward, that's a slightly unusual move. Moving it twice like that. What does it actually achieve? Maybe it covers this. I could play a move here, but I'm quite happy to trade things off. So bishop here, if you check, knight block is a little bit more uncomfortable. So I could go here. I could play knight up first, bishop down here. Knight takes, queen takes, it looks fine. I can throw a check in here as well and see what you're going to do at that end and castle. Yeah, just slightly unusual move. Let's just throw a check in just so we've got the option to castle. I've got a6 to cover this square, but I don't think he really wants to go there, which is why I'm not playing it, because that's the more logical square. So we'll probably play knight up. Knight up, challenge this knight. It's just whether I castle first. I think I'm just going to take there though. Knight here, bishop down here. I could just castle and sack a pawn and make it interesting, I guess. We could do that. Could play knight here, challenging the knight. So he's gone with the queen. So knight up allows bishop down and just castle. Takes, bishop takes or knight takes is left here. We've sacked a pawn. But it would make it interesting. Or I can just simply castle now. Yeah, I'm not a bold player. I'm not a bold attacking player, so let's just get castled. We'll still bring the knight up to challenge this knight. It's just a case of where we go. I can still drop this knight back here, so probably this side. Although he's just challenged us there, but I don't feel too concerned about that. If he takes, I take. If he takes, I take. He might leave us an isolated pawn here, so it might be good for him to take the knight. Could be. Let's just see. Yeah, he has taken the knight, so we're just going to take back. So he's given us an isolated backward pawn. So you probably shouldn't take here now. Just develop your bishop and go for the attack. We can always try and drop back over. We can maybe even play queen up just to try and deal with a quick kingside attack here. We could maybe even go this way as well, just trying to get the bishop off the board. So he wants to put the bishop here. That wasn't what I was expecting. Okay. So can I go here? Is he going to go queenside, I'm wondering? I can launch a pawn here, bishop here, and then he needs to really go queenside. I kind of like the look of that. My knight's not going anywhere in a hurry. I can always trade it if I need to, but it's fine here. But I'm going to develop the bishop and stop him castling kingside, at least in a hurry anywhere. And if he goes queenside, his king would be a little bit more open. Develop the rook, develop the queen, develop the rook, something like that. He could still choose to take here and brings our pawn into the center. That feels like it would be good for us, but otherwise you've got to get this king safe. I guess he could always play bishop back, trade the bishop and just manually castle. That might be perfectly good, perfectly good. That's exactly what he's gone for. So he's played bishop back. So it's probably good for us to take here now that he's given himself this pawn structure. And that was really what we were trying to achieve. And that's what he's done. So I'm going to play, man, rook across my pawn is a bit loose. Can I just push on? what's wrong with that actually? We'll push our pawn and whilst it's protected by the rook. If he takes here, I'd be pleased. It brings my pawn across. That's my big weakness right now. Isolated backward pawn. He's got an isolated centre pawn. But I'm going to try and just get this pawn as far up as I can. If he comes here, it would allow the rook to come across. He's gone across there, so pawn up now makes sense to me. This might be lost. It might be a lost pawn. We might not be able to keep it. So can we create some tactics like knight across or knight back, or even take some queen up? Pawn up, say takes here. Don't like that. Queen up. Don't like that. Rook across, I guess, makes sense just to defend the pawn then for the time being, so it's protected for one move. Knight across, he's well protected and there's nowhere else for the knight to really to go to, but we might be able to get the queen up at some point in time. Right now I don't see it, but maybe rook across and push the e-pawn. Yeah, maybe activate the other rook and push in the centre, try and open things up, get our rooks on open files. So now he's played king forward, so again we can take, he can take either way, we can check. I just don't see the obvious follow-up. So I'm going to play that rook move across. He might actually match it and come across, otherwise we're preparing to push in the centre. I suspect he might match that, let's see. Excuse me. We're just trying to still come up with a plan. How do we break through? Is it possible to keep this pawn and this pawn? Are they just doomed? There might be. Is it possible to get the queen up here at some point and go for tricks? That's a little bit ambitious, isn't it? A bit ambitious. I'm going to develop my queen. Although if I go here, it gives him knight across, but we can just shuffle onto a nice square. This is still protected. Yeah, I don't want to play it too slowly. I'm actually up on the clock. I'm normally down on the clock. So try and keep him under a little bit of time pressure, but that's something more for the latter quarter of the game, really. Actually, I've just realised if he plays knight and he's got knight here with an actual threat, so I might have to drop back. I was intending to come here. Come here, creating potential tricks later in the game. That's what he's done, so I'll have to drop back just to cover this. Not sure what I'm going to do here. No idea what I'm going to do with this pawn. Is it possible to push it on? Shift the knight? Or maybe I can still push this pawn on, but not overly thrilled with my position. Not overly thrilled. Is the queen up a move? Trade, pressure the pawn. If I could get rid of this pawn and swap this, I'd be really pleased. But then he's still got 2 on this side. Risky. Maybe we can go really crazy bold, I wonder. F5 to kick the knight with a view to going F4 and even just chucking the pawn. Now he's offered a queen trade. Surely that should be good for us. Takes, his knight's not doing anything. We've then got this knight move across. He's got to guard his pawn, say rook here or rook here. We can step across or we can start pushing, but see, I generally like endgames myself. I'm going to play it, I think. I could just push a pawn, though, and let him do the taking and activate my rook. The knighting isn't a threat, so I can go here with a tempo attacking the queen, but equally I can trade. His knight's not doing a lot. How do I break through? Trade, pawn up, no good. Trade, pawn up, say knight back. He's got this threat again. I could play knight down, but then trade. A little bit risky, So I'm looking at pawn up here, and if he takes rook up, if he plays in, we can maybe play this rook up as well, but it's uncomfortable. Slightly less comfortable. Let's just take. So do I give myself a tempo and kick him back here, or do I just develop? I think it's got to be right to play knight across, but can he trap my knight letting me take? Here, rook down, take. And it's doomed, isn't it? So I need to work on this. So how do we achieve that? Here, knight back is annoying, isn't it? Because he's still threatening to come in. I'm going to kick the knight anyway and go rook across. And then I'm going to go after the knight. I'm going to try and attack a little bit more. I've lost my time advantage now. He can still plant his knight here, he's fine. But I'm going to try and start marching forward if I can, or bust the centre in some way. I don't see it. If his rooks disconnect, there might be a trick with knight and take if we can shift these pawns. But he's played knight back, he's happy to trade. So does that give me a chance to push? Takes, takes. He might have given me a chance to push, but it might allow this or this. No, I'm going to have to take. But I think I can push now because he can't take either way. But here he can double up, and at worst case I can gain a pawn, lose a pawn. I think he's allowed me to push the pawn on. He can't capture it either way because we just take or take. If he has to double up, we've got rook take, and say we trade, we can go here and win this pawn and protect this pawn. He's still got his own pawn, but we'd be a pawn up in an endgame. Say we swap them off at some point. It'd still be a theoretical draw, I guess, but it's probably better than what we had. Let's see if he's got any ideas in mind. No, he's gone to protect, so we can actually push the pawn on and try and disturb these. Again, there's no risk here. I can always trade if he pushes, but here, say he comes back, we can take. Here, back. Then I can't take this one though, so here, back, take. If he plays rook take, that actually looks alright for him, doesn't it? So I think it's the same line. We just trade here and play rook in and get this pawn. And if he doesn't take, I'm threatening e5 and he's in all sorts of trouble. So I think he has to. We just try and win this pawn and protect this one and say we're better. We might end up swapping them off. We might do. We might not be able to promote it, but it's better than what we had, isn't it? Better than what we had. So what does he do? He can always check and come here and just start running his pawn. Kick us up here. But if he attacks our pawn, we just collect and protect. But he can just start running this one. I don't see any way to push up here and keep it. As long as you keep your king there, you're fine. So that's all he needs to do. Say this and shuffle the king. And we can never promote our pawn. So they'll end up swapping off. But we'll end up with a 4-on-3 this side. Ooh. Has he gone blundered there? That might be a blunder. If he goes grabbing here, we might be able to promote. Here. Then if he goes here, we can take, but it's probably still a draw. I think I should probably keep this rather than going greedy here. Letting him take. Back here. The rook here. We just push, and he can still go here. Yeah, I think it's right to keep the pawn and then take this one. He'll have to run his pawn, and we'll end up swapping the 2 for 1, and we're going to have 4-3 here. It's still a theoretical draw with correct play. We'll just find out how well he can play the endgame or not, as the case may be. But he knows what he's doing here. Here I'll go here. So he knows what he's doing. So do I actually try and press it a little bit? No, I don't think I can. I'm just going to be sensible. And then I'll try and press him on the clock. Now that's taken care of. And we'll try and march these up the board now and keep our king safe. But it's very difficult to win these. The correct play, it should be a draw. He's pushed on the outside. Well, that gives me a chance to fix 2 of his pawns. He's got to be careful not to get his king trapped. Like if you march this, we can check, and it's got to be a little bit careful. So here is not a move now. Here is a move. I guess it stops any sort of check nonsense. We can push this pawn. Maybe do this and push on. But if he just sits tight like he is now, it's really difficult for me to create any chance whatsoever. Unless we can march a pawn somehow down with a pin, we're unlikely to win the game. But nothing much else to do here other than try and march up the board. Get the feeling he knows what he's doing. He seems to know what he's doing. He should do 12,600 games. That's a lot of games, isn't it? So I think we can push here and fix this pawn as well. So here, but once I've gone forward, there's no coming back. Then if he goes here and I go here, he can just check me. So if I do this, I can't really do this. So do I need to be here? I think I need to be here with a view to pushing on. And pushing on. Or maybe I need to be here actually. We've still got a little bit of time to figure it out. I want to push here, don't I? Let's do it. So we've got 2 options to guard and a third one here. But I want to bring my king up with shelter. I don't quite see how. But now he's given me a chance to go here with a potential push. I'm just prodding and provoking right now to see if I can create a mistake. Here he takes up. So here, if he takes, but if I go here with the king, he can just sit and hold, and I'm not progressing, am I? So I really need to go here, don't I, then? Let's attack the rook and push this pawn. Oh, can I push up 2, depending on where he goes? Maybe I can come here now and push up 2. Stop the check and launch it 2. Now, we can always come here, but we can shuffle. Might be still a technical draw, this. I'll have to look at this after the game. I'm not sure. It might be a technical draw still. I think he knows what he's doing here, doesn't he? But I can march my king in and try and trade and keep these. But let's figure it out. Do I want them split apart? Here, takes. He has to move in, march up. I think it's this one. I might be wrong, but I think it's this. I'm trying to create the split pawns is what I'm trying to do, so his king can't stop both, and he has to concede ground here. He can't push. That's definitely going to be winning if we take. So now I can come in here, and I think I can distract him with this collecting queen, I think. Yeah, I think it's winning. I think it is. Because here, check, takes, and he can't stop this pawn. So I think it should be a win, right? We've got 2 minutes, but surely here he goes here, it's checkmate, right? Here, if he takes, I take, and he can't stop this. So that's the technique. I still think it's probably a technical, theoretical draw with correct play, but we'll find out now just in case it wasn't. So we pause so we don't accidentally start another game. So 53 moves, they're the move times for both players. What did we play? The accelerated pawnw attack in the Caro, this one. Click on that, you get some puzzles to do. So it is a theoretical win for these final moves here. Yeah, it's just a draw. I thought it was. Move 45 to draw, and he's blundered somewhere. I knew it was a draw, or it should be a draw. That's what I thought. Then sometimes you see ghosts, but you see it's completely flatland level the whole way here. He knew what he was doing here. You can tell that when you're playing players, even though there's a rating gap, you can tell he knows what he's doing. It's essentially level, right to move 45, then a 1 move blunder. And I've played a good game. 98% against 87 on the accuracy. That's the thing with a Caro though, it's a very solid opening, but it's easier for your opponent to play against it as well. He's made hardly any mistakes, just that 1 blunder has settled it. We can see the blunder there. That was trading the rook. So this is all good from both sides. You see nothing being flagged at all whatsoever till bishop's back to f1. And I've played the game basically about as well as I could have played it. So taking was correct. Pushing the pawn up looks good, but it's still level here. Then obviously I'm just trying to deal with this knight in here. The next slight move is rook here. So trading the knight was good. Or at least it's good in engine language anyway, isn't it? It might not be in human terms. He should have played his rook forward here. And then I would have probably just taken the pawn. Rook c4 was the right move, but it's still just level. So these trades were good. It was good to protect my pawn here. He knew the technique to swap these pawns off. We fixed the pawn here, which was good. Pushed the pawn, which was good. Pushed it again, good. He's seen our threat here, so we protect it. G5, good, trying to create something, and I've taken a chance here. It's still completely level, and I thought it should be theoretically a draw. And I've blocked with a rook, and he needed to not trade and come across here and just basically sit and hold. Sit back and hold, and how are we going to progress any further and create any chances? You just can't, can you? Rook across, you just check again, step back, and we're just not progressing forward. That trade, and it's suddenly winning for us. Yeah, so 8.1 now. So now we've managed to figure out the correct technique using the principle of the split pawns, and then the king won't be able to hopefully stop both of them. So just that one simple blunder, and it was otherwise essentially flatland level the whole way through. So A good game though, so very good.